When life is but a fantasy.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the latest episode of PT3600. My name is Ryan A. Moore. Joining me is
Ashton.
But also on the far end, welcome back, man.
Hey, what's going on? It's Josh.
Yes, for those that have seen the at this current moment Hidden Agenda Let's Play, that was your first game that you've played on Primal Target.
Yep.
And now you're here. Now you're doing this.
Yes, I am. I am here.
Yeah. more from him later.
Yeah.
PT3600 is the podcast that is 3,600 seconds, which equals out to 1 hour, and we talk about one topic.
Is that why you do that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Some clever trivia right there. So this topic is living in a fantasy world. Now, just as a thing for the audience, the fantasy world is in general fantasy world, not the fact of dragons and wizards and warlocks. It's a mythical world or something that was made up that exists as a world that is now fantasy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like more along the lines of fictional as opposed to like genre fantasy.
Right.
Yes. So, who wants to go first? Do we let the guest go first?
Oh, am I-
do you
I
want
go
an
first?
example first?
Yeah, you
Okay,
guys go
we'll
first,
let
'cause
Ashton go. Then.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
Just
the
throw
format.
me under the bus.
Okay, but
that's
do you
fine.
want me to go first?
No.
I feel like I just
Now,
went the intro.
I've been given
Yeah.
this task, so
yeah,
now I'm going to complete it.
Yeah, the baton has been held down to you.
You
now,
must
so.
undertake this
Thank
quest.
you.
into
Thank
the
you for
Fantasy
passing the
World
torch.
podcast.
Well, my fantasy world that I want to talk about is the Harry Potter fantasy world. The whole
Okay.
universe, if you will.
So you would like to live in the Harry Potter universe?
I would. I think I would. I mean, it is a little dangerous at times. Not always the.
I mean, no one said you had to hang around Harry. Like you could be.
Oh,
a
even
wizard.
if you don't hang around him,
Now,
it
would
just
you
fucking
be-
happens.
Would you be a mudblood or would you be a naturally occurring
Whoa, you can't
wizard?
say that word.
Well, I would want to be.
Can't say the M word.
Yeah, it's a slang term, isn't it?
Slur.
It's even worse.
I don't know, because here's the thing. Like, as a mudblood, you're actually given like knowledge of both sides of the coin,
Yeah.
whereas like also the same thing is like you're also gonna get ridiculed for being a half-blood.
No. Half-blood is different.
No, I don't believe it is.
Half-blood is when your mom, like for example, your mom was a wizard and your dad wasn't.
Right.
But Hermione's parents were not at all.
Yeah, like
so she was
you're
full on.
a
She was the
human
first.
with like natural occurring magic abilities.
Yeah, you were the first of the lineage to get it.
You're
So
like-
therefore, you were the mudblood. But yeah,
Well-
you would if you go with Hermione's route. Yeah, she would have full on knowledge of the regular world, the Muggle world, and then just immediately get thrown into this
So
weird world.
I would rather be a half-blood because then I can kind of get a little bit of both.
So you know about the world, but maybe your dad is a bit clueless on the situation. Like he was married into this.
Yeah.
Yes, like
Okay.
you.
Or well, how about I'll let you answer that.
He-
Would you want your mom to be the wizard, or would you want your dad to be the wizard?
My dad will definitely be the wizard, and the reason
Okay.
I say that is because he'd be checking out some bitches on the street, back at home, and flipped up a couple skirts with Olivia.
Olivia Soul. So what house do you think your dad was in?
Oh, definitely Gryffindor.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
I'm a proud.
That's a very
person.
Slytherin sort of thing for. I'm talking about your dad.
Oh, my dad.
Yeah, because he had to get housed in first before you went in to get sorted. I'm assuming we're in London just for
Okay.
the sake and purposes. I don't know if you want to throw in the American schools here.
Well, no.
No.
I mean,
Yeah,
no.
no.
We'll just go. I'd say Gryffindor. I mean, he may have strayed the path a little bit.
Yeah.
Getting a little lonely, but I mean, he's a proud guy. He's an honorable guy for
Okay.
the most part. He's not gonna do wrong.
Oh, I just,
Yeah.
I don't know him, so I'm just agreeing.
He's not gonna do wrong to anyone.
I was thinking about what house my dad would have been in because he was in the military, so I don't know if he'd be in Gryffindor.
I
per
think he'd
se.
be a Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I know
Definitely
there's
a
like
Ravenclaw in that.
yeah, there's like a house that's like more
resourceful, like uses
Yeah.
natural like knowledge kind of thing.
Yeah, that would
I think
be him
that's
because
Ravenclaw.
he's
yeah.
outdoorsy too. He likes to camp and stuff.
Yeah, that might be a
So,
Hufflepuff then.
Yeah, that might
I
be
would
Hufflepuff
totally be a
because-
Slytherin, though.
You'd be a Slytherin.
Yeah.
You would
Yeah.
be?
Every
You're
time
an
I'm taking
asshole?
the Harry Potter thing, I
Yeah.
always get Slytherin.
I've taken it twice. I got Ravenclaw the first time, and then I got Hufflepuff like years later. So I don't know what that says.
I don't think I've ever done it.
You grew
Really?
out of your
The
ravenness.
Pottermore test?
I don't think I have.
Maybe we'll have to
Oh,
do a
really?
video of where all three of us take the Pottermore test.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do that in the later thing.
Yeah,
All
because
right.
my wand was like a dragon wood something.
Yeah,
with like
whatever.
A horse tail
Yeah.
feather or something.
Okay, so you're sorted into Gryffindor, right? Okay.
Correct.
Gryffindor.
What is your what do you think your Patronus would be?
Ooh, probably a wolf.
A wolf, really?
Yeah.
I got a dolphin as mine.
I think mine was like
Ooh.
a falcon or something.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
A dolphin. Man, that's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even know that was an option until I got dolphin.
Curious.
I think I'd be a wolf for sure.
Okay.
Like
all
I
right.
can go it alone. Like it's no big deal.
Okay. What would you choose as your pet? Would you go with a
Oh, an owl.
an owl? Okay.
An
What
owl.
kind of owl? I like the barn owl.
Oh, the fucked up one that bangs on the windows.
No, they're like they screech at night. They have like the concaved face. They like hollowed out, like and they have
Oh, yeah,
black
yeah.
beady eyes.
Yeah, those are cool. I don't know.
They're like considered one of the smartest owls.
I'm not too particular. I mean, like I could either.
Or did you go with a snow owl like Harry?
I mean, both of them are really cool.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like owls are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So I
You
don't
could get
know.
Ron's owl.
No. It just crash lands in
Yeah,
the
just-
middle of
Just
food.
stumbles upon
Oh
everything.
god.
Wasn't there something wrong with him? I mean, obviously, but like,
Well, he's
what-
old.
that was. Oh yeah, because it was passed down from Percy,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah.
So I
that
mean, it's passed down. 3 people.
yeah.
Already. 3 brothers. So I mean, he's pretty old now.
Wait, who's I'm sorry. My bad.
No, were you
I kind of zoned out because I was looking up Pottermore because I wanted to see what.
Oh
what
yeah,
my
no, we
Patronus
got to
was.
do that for a little later.
Oh,
Or do you
well,
have
no,
it
I was
saved
looking
to
up
your
the one
phone?
that I currently have.
Yeah,
A Gosh Hawk.
because I think it uses your
Gosh.
I think it uses your IP address to like do it.
Oh, lame.
Yeah,
All
or you
right.
sign in with Facebook or whatever. I'm trying to think of what other questions there are. What would you? So, have you ever been to Universal
I
Studios?
have not.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to both, but
Florida
they were.
or Hollywood.
I've been to both. Of
Oh.
Orlando and of Hollywood. But at the time when I was in Orlando, it was the same thing that it is now in California. But Orlando's is now like doubled in size. They
Oh,
actually have
gotcha.
like hogs meat and like all
Yeah,
this
they
other
paused
stuff.
me now.
But the one over in California is just Diagon Alley. Is it just that?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's just Diagon Alley. But anyway,
That's what they want you to think. You got to find the secret entrance or whatever to go to.
no, that's just
Yeah,
It's
just
just pretty
let me get out
small,
my
yeah.
wand. Aloha Mora.
Yeah, exactly. So
Um,
so what makes you choose Harry Potter though?
I don't know. It's just kind of like it's literal like magic everywhere, and there's, you go to school to go do it, and it seems kind of like school here, but with magic, and
Yeah.
you get to learn more about like honing your skills rather than, worrying about all this other weird shit that we gotta fucking worry about
Yeah.
in our school.
Yeah, it's definitly pretty
you get to fly.
interesting. Yeah.
You get to fly.
So what would you do as your extracurricular activity at Hogwarts? Would you like study more potion, or let's say what would be your favorite class?
My favorite class, Defense Against the Dark Arts, for sure.
Okay.
I would've
What's your
chosen
teacher?
Quidditch myself.
Yeah. What's your teacher that you would have wanted?
Definitely Snape, and the reason I say
Snape as Defense Against the Dark Arts?
that, yes,
That didn't happen.
no, but he would have been best for it because
Yeah.
look at all the other Defense Against the Dark. They're all like either frauds or fucking two-faced, literally.
Wasn't that because there was like a curse put on that position or something after Voldemort becomes, or like after Tom Riddle?
I don't know.
I don't know about.
I
Yeah,
know. I know. Lupin was like the only one that would have fit, but he didn't stay there because he was.
No, Lupin would have been cool, but he had too many problems. He'd be.
Yeah,
we'd
he
need a
was-
substitute all
What
the
was
time.
he called?
He was a werewolf.
That's just what he was. He was just a werewolf.
Yeah,
he's a werewolf.
because there was
I
some,
knew he was that, but I didn't know if there was like a term.
I mean,
He
the term for
was.
werewolf would be lichen.
Yeah, I think it was a
lycanthrope,
lichen.
so.
there was somebody put a curse on that position so that way because I always thought that was stupid. Like, that was my gripe with the Harry Potter series. Every year was a different defense against the dark arts teacher. And it's like, if they're defending against the dark arts, why is there a new one every
Yeah.
time? Why do they suck at their own teaching?
Maybe it's that point
But-
of like ironicness and like introducing new characters.
Well, but that's the thing is apparently there was a curse put on that position
I didn't
by
know
somebody.
anything about
I think it was either Voldemort or somebody working for Voldemort.
God, don't say his name.
Sorry,
He said it
Tom-
multiple
Tom
times.
Riddle. But
That's even worse.
Yeah, I think he
He
put,
doesn't like that.
he
Yeah.
put a I think he put a curse on it or something like that.
That's weird.
And that's why every year there's a new one because they always fail or join him or whatever.
maybe that sounds like fan lore.
Well, I watched a video about
That might be it then.
the Voldemort.
Oh,
light
yeah,
thing or
yeah, he
whatever
was-
the other day.
That was how we found out that the timeline ends in 99.
Hmm.
So trying to think. Would you ever have competed in
right
extracurricular activities?
Sure. I mean, there's quite a few. I mean, I definitely want to be part of Quidditch because
Okay.
I love to fly, and I was into sports
Yeah.
growing up, so seems a good fit for me.
Was there any other sports in Harry Potter other than Quidditch, or was that it? I
I'm
don't think.
sure
I
there
mean,
was
unless you-
probably cricket.
Yeah, just regular sporting events.
And yeah, probably.
That's weird.
That's probably why they didn't show them. They were like, yeah, these are boring.
Yeah, it's interesting. Because would you have competed in the Goblet of Fire?
Oh, and almost die? Maybe if I was. Good
Well,
enough.
you wouldn't have actually done that if it all went okay.
Well, people still died in the Goblet of Fire.
Oh,
before
really?
Then, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's literally life threatening. It is a dangerous
Oh boy.
game.
Oh boy.
Yeah, like, because not everybody ever won it, right? Like, they've had, like, some people didn't claim it, right? Or is there a
No,
winner every
like,
single time?
No,
I will be honest. Didn't read all the books except
Oh, I
for
did.
Goblet of Fire. I listened to that on audio tape on a vacation that
was
my
that
dad
before,
and I,
like, Audible and all that?
yeah, it was before Audible.
Oh, nice.
But dude, you know how much tapes are? Do you know how much tapes still are? They're like $60 to $70.
Books on
A
tape?
book, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
A
because they're
book
like
on tape.
12 tapes a piece.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like
And
you
they're
open
that-
it up and it's like the size of the book, and it's
Yeah.
actual like
And
you
it's-
might as well have just bought the tape
It's like
or
the
bought the
plastic,
book.
that they made the old
VHSs out of. Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. You can get them at like libraries and
Yeah.
stuff.
I like the narrator for Goblet of Fire because he would sometimes do the voices, but he would do it in his voice. So he would just change the octave, or he'd be like, and so like he'd just change it just
Oh
slightly.
my God.
Yeah, if he's like talking as somebody else. I don't know. It's pretty good. That's why I like Goblet of Fire the most. I also think it's the best movie.
Really?
Yeah, just a lot more stuff's happening, and I feel like it's just constant. Something else is happening.
There's a lot of good stuff. I mean, like, my least favorite movie is probably the second one.
Chamber of Secrets, huh?
Yeah. That's most people's least favorite.
Yeah.
It's just kind of because it's like, bleh.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just the ending is a little there.
Yeah.
It's there. It's good movie. It's just not.
It's more there to, like,
not
kind of
finishing it
usher you
out.
to the third one. Like,
Yeah.
it has, like, still, like, the light comic relief from, like, the first one, and then going through trying to make it darker and
They changed directors
pose a threat.
at the third
Yeah.
one, right?
yeah. I think it always was Jerry Bruckheimer's production, right? Like, but he just stopped
that
directing.
I don't know.
Maybe he was.
I just know
maybe he
that
didn't do it.
the director from the first two movies did not come back. after
Yeah.
that.
Nope. And they switched Dumbledore's.
Yeah, because one
Yeah,
of them died.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's like they basically shook up the cast and crew a little bit and then
Yeah.
turned the tone down from lighthearted to serious because that's when he started getting older and
I
stuff.
get it, because Sirius Black show. Anyway,
Oh.
so
Heyo.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good movies. Like, I don't know, I don't really dislike any of the movies. Order of the Phoenix was a good movie. It's also, you know,
That one was okay. I mean, it wasn't my favorite. It
What
was,
was the fourth one?
fourth one
Goblet
was
of Fire.
Goblet of Fire.
Wait, what was the third one?
Prisoner of
Prisoner of
Azkaban.
Azkaban.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I didn't
With
see any after Order of
Dementors.
Phoenix.
Yeah, the Dementors were in the third one. That was a good one too.
Yeah. that
That's
was
probably a
good one.
close second of mine.
What's the one where he goes into the woods and he sees the the thing, and he doesn't he scream "Expecto Patronum"?
That's Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
That's at the end of the movie though.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like it shows you everything, and then Harry goes back in time
Right.
to then like see himself on the other
Yeah,
side
it's
when he
like
thought it was like Snape or something like
it's
that.
the whole grandfather paradox thing. Where
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
If
He
he, wasn't
can't
there,
interact
he
with
could,
himself.
Yeah, he couldn't be there. But if he didn't go, then he wouldn't have gone.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep. Time travel.
My
Yeah.
one gripe with the movies is that how it ended. He like,
Oh, he just became old.
well, yeah, but like he like snapped the Elder Wand in half and threw it in the fucking river.
Yeah. Okay.
is that I
If
didn't,
I can't have it, nobody can.
I didn't read the book, so
No,
I
it
don't
belonged
know
to
if that's
him at that
different.
point.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, I don't know.
He wasn't
Maybe to
gonna-
end it all, I think is the point. To end all of them.
They don't need to end it.
They had to end
Well,
it at some point.
No
They
way,
did. They have
man.
Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, that's but
Well,
that's going back
That's like a
even
prequel,
farther,
right?
Yeah.
Which that
Young
one's
Dumbledore.
okay too. Like,
Well,
I like
Dumbledore's
it.
in the second one. He's gonna be in the second one.
Yeah, young
But I
Dumbledore.
just know it's young, like
Young
because he's
Dumbledore,
Jude
yeah.
Law
And
playing
yeah,
it.
Jude Law's playing it, which is I think it's a pretty good pick. All right. Well, any final words on Harry Potter world over there?
No. I think I'm good.
All right. You want to go with yours now?
Sure.
Okay. What is your fantasy world you would like to live in?
You know, okay, so I was trying to look up what the actual name of the world was. Oh crap, I need to go back real quick. But
banter.
yeah, the world I wanted to choose though was I wanted to do the Full Metal Alchemist universe or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a good one.
yeah, I love that show. That's like my favorite anime. But the reason why I like it so much is because I like the idea that alchemy replaces chemistry as like the main science. So it's just really cool. Basically, they have magic powers as science, is what it is. You know, because they're drawing transmutation circles and like mutating or like
So-
morphing stuff.
What is alchemy the combination between magic and science, or is it religious and science?
It's more or less magic and science. Like
Yeah.
alchemy was first invented to create gold out of lead.
Doesn't
that-
alchemy actually exist?
That was the real
Okay,
alchemy, and
alright.
and then when people realized they couldn't do that, that's
Yeah.
kind of when alchemy died. And then they realized chemistry was essentially the better form of alchemy because it like instead of like they were breaking it down by chemical elements as opposed to like being like, oh yeah, you can just change it, you
Yeah.
know, and like willy nilly.
They weren't going with like protons and neutrons type stuff. They were
Yeah.
more of going with
No.
like
You have
this
to-
it happens because this does
Exactly,
this, so
yeah.
this should happen here.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
So it's like instead of looking at it scientifically, they were looking at it more like, what's the word for that? I guess like,
Stupid.
yeah. but then but in the show, like the way they use it is it's more practical than that, you know. So it's like essentially they use it as kind of a magic form, and then
Yeah.
they draw the
like a
transmutation
tool.
circles and stuff. Yeah. And so, but I like the fact that of course Edward Elric, who's the main character,
And his
I
bro.
guess he sees the gate beyond, so he kind of like dies in a way, and but he comes back, and then he's able to do alchemy without a transmutation circle because of that. And I always thought that was really cool. So essentially, it's like if you almost die, then you should theoretically be able to do alchemy without a transmutation circle. But I don't know if it's because of the alchemy that he tried performing at the beginning of the show is the reason why he was able to find the gate, because maybe if you just die, you don't find it.
And
But
that was when he was trying to he was
Bring
doing
back
something with
his
his
mom.
brother. But he was doing something with his brother.
Yeah,
at the
his
time.
brother and him were trying to basically recreate his mother. They were trying to transmutate his mother's soul back into a new body, and in turn they create a homunculus, which becomes lust in the show. But
Spoilers. No, I'm just joking. It's
oh.
an old show. It's an
Yeah,
old
it's an old
show.
show.
yeah, I was gonna say I don't
I think
know.
it's on.
I don't
Is
know
it,
who's
can
all
you watch
seen
it
it
on
and all that.
Netflix? Can you watch
Probably, yeah.
I think it's on
Yes.
Hulu, at
It's on
least.
Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, so I think in turn with them doing that because when they did that, like the whole idea of alchemy is equivalent exchange. In order to create anything, something of equal value must be lost. So in order to create his mother's body, essentially Alphonse, his little brother, loses his body, and then in order to get Alphonse back, Edward sacrifices his right arm and his left leg, and then that's when he finds the gate. He's able to save his brother's soul, but he transmutates his brother's soul into armor. So I think that's
Because
cool
there's
too.
nobody left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I do think that that's like one of the. I like the art style and the whole premise of that his younger brother is this giant like
Yeah.
suit of armor.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's pretty cool. I don't
Yeah.
know. I like that.
And it's cool too because since he's hollow, a lot of people don't realize there's no body inside. So there's like a number of times when like his head falls off and people freak out because they're like, what is it? Or somebody hides inside of his armor and they
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
realize they're in there, But he's like perfectly capable and fine of running around just as long as that steel stays on the helmet. But when his helmet gets detached, I don't think he can control his body or something. Like only if he's holding his head, I think he can remove his helmet. But if he takes his helmet off and it falls out of his hands, I don't think he can control his body, like because it's not connected to him. Yeah. So it's a really strange thing. But the whole point of why I like it is just basically because of the alchemy. Like you can use alchemy to basically fix things, create things, do all this and that. And then the idea of the Philosopher's Stone really fascinates me too.
Yeah, that threw me for a loop when I watched it, and all of a sudden they mentioned the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: what would you create if you were able to use alchemy?
Oh. I don't know.
Do you need a moment?
I guess, well, because each alchemist has a speciality most of the time.
What would your speciality be?
See, yeah, and that's what I didn't necessarily think about that because.
Well, here I'll come. I'll let you think there. Have you seen the show, Ashton?
Oh yeah.
Okay. What do you like about the show?
I like the fighting.
Yeah, those are some pretty cool parts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you can use alchemy for defensive or aggressive maneuvers. It's very helpful and it has more uses than just repairing, and you can use it for literally everything. Now you can't bring back a body from the dead. Like it's not. You can't bring someone back fully.
Yeah.
Because you don't have. Because one thing that they did, they were doing it to the book like, okay, these are all the elements and all the stuff that we need to bring back our mom. They did all that, and it still didn't work. There are certain limits there, but it's still one of those things. That's where they're going after the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
That was their missing ingredient.
Did we ever find out what's happened with the dad in this scenario?
Oh, Hohenheim?
Oh, is he? I watched like maybe the first couple episodes of the first season.
So it's different because the first series after the second half, the manga hadn't been finished yet, so they totally veered off and it was completely different. But Brotherhood follows the manga like pretty close. So Hohenheim does two different things. Like in the first one, I think he ends up. Oh, that's right. Because the first series actually ends with the movie, The Conqueror of Shambhala, or whatever. So what happens is Edward ends up transmutating into a different dimension, our dimension, and that's where he's talking about chemistry.
Real life?
Yeah,
like wow, that's some meta shit right there.
Yeah, he's like living in like Austria during like World War II or World War I or something, and they're talking about chemistry and stuff, and that's why he's like, oh yeah, like in my world, alchemy was like the main thing, and I'm trying to figure out how to use chemistry to get back to my world. And then I want to say Alphonse has his body back, and then Hohenheim ended up going to that dimension as well because I want to say Wrath ended up sending him there, and then Wrath is stuck in like limbo as a dragon. Dude, it's so
What
crazy.
was this the movie?
This is like the last few episodes and the movie of the first just Full Metal Alchemist. But in Brotherhood, it's different because Hohenheim,
which is what everyone says to go and watch.
yeah,
They say go
Brotherhood's
watch
the more
Brotherhood.
faithful adaptation.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, if you're gonna watch it, I would say watch the first half of the first series up until. I guess I don't really want to spoil that part because that's a good part. But like there's a very pivotal scene with a guy who wears glasses. I'll just say that. I can't remember his name. He's a major of some sort. After that episode.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Because I don't know who's seen it. I don't know who's not. So I don't want to spoil that part because that's a pretty important part.
After they're gone.
But yeah,
Okay.
and so like after that, then I would say watch Brotherhood because the first half of the first series is so detailed. And then when Brotherhood came out, they were like, well, we already kind of did this. Like, they just haven't seen the second half. So they really skipped through the first half.
Yeah, that's what I
of
know.
that
So I
season.
didn't watch Brotherhood.
Yeah. The first like 6 episodes of Brotherhood covered the entire first half of that first series. So it's like,
Wow.
yeah, it goes like lightning quick. So if you haven't seen the first series, then you're gonna miss a lot. So that's why I would say watch the first half of Full Metal Alchemist and then watch the second half of Metal Alchemist Brotherhood to get the best viewing experience, in my opinion.
So did you think of what you would want to focus in?
I would probably want to do something like kind of like Ed. I would probably want to do something with like metal because I would want to make
Metal.
yeah, I probably want to make like weapons, either that or water. Like I've always had an affinity for water, and I've always wanted to control water as like a super. Oh no, electricity, dude. Because okay, sorry, yeah.
Can you do all three of them?
I mean, you theoretically could. I mean, you could do alchemy with anything as long as you have transmutation circles. If you can't create it with just your hands, but or if you don't have the tattoos like I do.
The top twos.
Yeah. Yeah, because oh well, I guess nobody can see me. Now. I didn't think about that. I have both.
We'll do it in a later video
Yeah,
when we have a face cam or something.
If you look up Scar from the series from Brotherhood specifically, because I didn't realize he only had one tattoo in the first series. He has both tattoos in the second one because he gets the second tattoo in the second half of the second series. So that's why he didn't have it in the first one. But I have Scar's tattoos, and so he's able to create or destroy because these tattoos are the Philosopher's Stone or part of the transmutation to create a Philosopher's Stone transmutation circle, and so this one's destruction and then this one's creation.
His left arm is creation. His right arm is destruction.
Yeah, and so
is Scar, what he was pointing to them is what he was doing.
Scar can bypass those laws, and he's able to do alchemy without the laws of equivalent exchange. So he can destroy things, create things at will. So he has a pretty cool alchemaic power, if you will. But if I had to follow the laws of equivalent exchange and I had to use a transmutation circle, blah blah blah, I would probably do electricity.
Okay. You can do a lot.
Long-winded answer there.
Okay. Any final?
If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's awesome.
Is that your favorite anime?
It is my favorite anime.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
now. Have you read? You've read the manga?
No, I've never actually read the manga, but I never really thought to. I guess.
Yeah.
Because most of the time with anime, usually they're pretty faithful. And from what I've read, it's pretty close. I might go read it someday, but I don't know. I'm more into watching things than I am like reading them.
Same.
You know, if there's like a movie adaptation of a book, I'll probably see the movie first and then go read the book.
Ooh, I'm the opposite. I have to read the book first.
Okay, yeah. See, I because I feel like if I read the book first, I go in with a biased perspective. And if I don't, if I
that's how I did with Goblet of Fire.
Oh,
yeah, see,
I did that. That was the only thing of the Harry Potters. That was the only book that because my dad read them to me when I was a kid. But like 4 was one that I remember specifically because we listened to it on tape because you're trapped in a car, so like that's all you can listen to. And so as soon as we saw Goblet of Fire, I was like, wait a minute, like. We were supposed to see like Ron's brothers about the dragons, and then we never see them. And then I'm like, "What is this? Like, this isn't in the book." And I'm like, after that, I was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore."
Yeah,
or I read The Watchmen.
Oh yeah,
and that's like verbatim of the movie,
and then the ending's like completely different.
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, okay, this is all right.
Yeah, see, and that's the only issue I have with reading the book first, because I feel like. If I see the movie first, it doesn't tell me the whole story, but then you go and read the book, and it's like, whoa, there's so much more that happened that is like so much more detailed. This is awesome.
Yeah,
and you get
if you want to be more immersed in the world.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to mine, I guess. I chose Pokemon.
I choose you.
I'm really sad I didn't think of that too.
Pokemon was the one that I kept thinking about. Because Pokemon has always been very special in my heart. Funny thing, I've played almost every single one of them of every generation. So at least one of every generation, and I don't think I've ever completed one.
Really, dude?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
I just fell in love with the
so
franchise.
funny.
I just fell in love with the franchise of it, and it was always because when I was a kid, because Pokemon Yellow was my very first video game ever. I had it on my purple Game Boy Color,
Yeah.
and I
Nice.
had my worm light. Plug it in.
Oh, the
and,
worm light.
And then no, not even. Just that. Sometimes when we went on trips, I had my magnifying
I was
glass
just
thing
about to ask,
with
did
the
you have the
built-in
magnifying
lights,
glass? Yeah.
and I was looking at. Or if you were a pleb, which sometimes you forget your magnifying glass, and you would be looking, and then all of a sudden when you were crossing under a bridge, you'd have to look away because the light would go away.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you exit the bridge, you get to go back to playing your game. Ah, the beauty of the Game Boy Color.
Yeah, because it
Um,
wasn't backlit at that point, right?
It's
That was,
not
yeah,
even close.
SP, I think, was the first backlit. one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The
yeah.
SP was on.
And it wasn't even
Yeah,
backlit.
dude,
it was
yeah.
front lit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they came from the sides of the
Yeah.
frame.
Oh,
It's
That's
so
right.
crazy.
Right.
But yeah, when I had Pokemon Yellow, I didn't even have Red and Blue. I didn't get Red and Blue until like way, way, way later. My
Yeah, those
dad
were
would
my first one.
my dad would beat the game because I was only like, I think I was like 4 or 5. So he beat the game for me. Like I'd play a little bit of it, understand kind of the concept of what I was supposed to do.
Throw some Pokeballs at
Yeah,
a Pidgey or
catch
something.
whatever. Oh, I got Pikachu, and I'm already done. Like I've already completed my task. I just loved playing it because the anime was going on.
Mhm.
So I was like, cool. Like I'm actually Ash. Like I named my guy Ash. I
Oh,
didn't
me
name
too.
him-
I did that too. Yeah.
What? Shut up, Ashton.
Oh.
I named him Ash, and like I
Didn't
I
even think
named
about
my
that.
rival. I named my rival Gary, and I always found it weird how your rival in Pokemon Yellow got an Eevee. That was kind of interesting. I never really understood that.
I
part.
think it was. I'm assuming that's because Gary had an Eevee in the show,
but he had a. Oh wait, yeah, I don't think he did start with one of the. No, he did start with one of the 3, didn't he?
he did. Yeah, so he started with I believe it was Squirtle because
don't-
there's
He eventually had a Blastoise at a
Yes.
point, right?
Yeah, 'cause
but
he had
that's the
Blastoise.
only evidence that he ever had a Squirtle.
yeah, because originally there was supposed to be a girl also who was technically green.
Green, yeah,
And she chose Bulbasaur, and then
yeah.
and
That's
then,
in the manga. She is.
yeah, and
in
then,
the manga, she does exist.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
So they just didn't put her in the show.
Yeah.
So I guess she's kind of partially canon, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and then Ash got there late. He was supposed. I think he got Charmander and.
Yeah, because it was
some
red,
point-
blue, and green.
Yeah,
And
then,
red was the main character. Blue was Gary, and
Yeah,
and
so
green
Red
was
got
green.
Charmander, and then when they introduced
Yeah.
Ash, he's the one who got Pikachu.
That's
so.
funny because in the show he gets Charmander because he's abandoned.
Yeah, dude, that Charmander.
oh
line
yeah,
is
yeah.
so
Well,
so
that was
sad.
the thing about like how the anime went is like Ash always got his Pokemon based on like situations.
Yeah.
Like he got Squirtle because he was part of the Squirtle squad.
Yep.
He got Charmander because he was practically dying.
Yep.
Bulbasaur was like an overprotective like security guard.
Yeah.
And yeah, like everyone
He-
except
he
for
caught-
Caterpie.
Well, I
like
was gonna
Caterpie
say,
was
yeah,
the
he
only
caught-
Pokemon that he got.
He caught Caterpie just by throwing a Pokeball at it, and then
He threw a rock at it,
and then
didn't he? Oh no, he threw a rock at Sparrow,
No,
and Sparrow knocked it.
yeah, yeah.
Those fuckers are actually big, man.
yeah, 'cause-
Sparrow?
Caterpie?
Oh yeah, Caterpie are like the size of like your forearm.
Yeah,
No, they can get much bigger too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
yeah, because he threw a rock at the Spearow, didn't catch that, and then he battled the Pidgeotto with Caterpie and got his ass kicked, and then Pikachu was like, "Ugh," and then he
And then he
electrocuted
shocked
him
it, and then
real
he got
quick.
Pidgey, yeah.
paralyzed him with.
So the
Thunder
only
Wave.
Pokemon that Ash caught in like the first season of those first couple episodes were Pidgey and Caterpie.
Yeah.
And Pikachu was given to him on you overslept, and so here's this one pissed off.
Yeah,
because
because he didn't. Yeah, he got given his starter
Yeah,
Pokemon
yeah.
because Professor Oak felt sorry for him.
Well, I mean, all the others got given their own thing. But anyway, I didn't specify why I wanted to pick Pokemon. But yeah, so Pokemon has always been like, I've always loved the franchise of it. I love I love the art, the beautiful art that like
Oh yeah,
90s Pokemon.
dude, the '90s art
is
is so
top.
great. I love it.
Like, oh, it
looks
does
so
not.
different.
It's so nostalgic.
Pikachu used to be so fat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
like
dude.
old
He's
Pikachu.
so
like if you
fat.
look at his old Pokemon cartoon, he's like this fat
He's
tub.
so
Chubbers,
fat.
yeah.
How funny would that be? Just walking around with like this fat electric mouse.
I wish they could have. I wish they would do that in Pokemon Go, where you could like pick which type of Pikachu you want. You know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
fat Pikachu or skinny
Fat
Pikachu. They should be
Pikachu.
like Fat Elvis. You
Or
know?
no, or they actually have weight. Like they'll
Yeah,
actually
oh, yeah.
show the weight of the
Yeah,
Pokemon
yeah.
if they're actually a
That'd be
fatter
cool.
Pokemon.
Yeah, they don't ever show the difference in size or weight. And that makes
Yeah,
me mad.
they tell you, but they don't actually show you. Yeah, but yeah, like I have just always loved that franchise, and I don't know if it's because it's the first game or it's like I have this connection. You know, like my dad and I would play it together, and like he would go and beat the whole game, and then like I would play for it a little bit and realize that he beat the whole game because he'd just be like, "Hey, let me see that," and so I'd give it to him, and then I'd totally forget about it because I'm 5, and so or like actually no, I'd have been younger. I was like 2 or 3 when I had this game, and so I'd let him play it. And then all of a sudden I get it back like a couple days later or whatever, and he's done. Like,
He's
and
already
I'm so
played
like
through.
I'm looking at it, and he's beat the Elite Four. He has like all of his like Pokemon that are there, and I'm like, oh, well I want to do it. And then I reset the game,
Yeah.
and then he would do it again. Like he would just like I'd play it up to a point, and then he'd take it and just beat the whole game again.
He's probably like,
Oh,
"God,
wow.
I gotta beat this again.
Yeah, no, he kept doing it. He was really into Pokemon for a while, and he would do that same thing. Because then when I got Crystal version, I had Silver and then got Crystal.
Ooh, I had gold. I didn't have
And
silver.
I did not get Gold. I like Lugia more than Ho-Oh.
As
So-
do I.
Yeah, but I had Silver version. Oh yeah, no, I didn't have Crystal version. So my parents got divorced, unfortunately, and so when I was living here in Washington at the time, he was living in Idaho. He bought a Game Boy SP and then bought Crystal version. So I was over in Washington and I had Silver version, and so like we finally had like I think I had a Game Boy Advance at that time because I think that adds up about right. And then so we would play, do whatever.
Yeah, because
trade
SP's
Pokemon.
like advanced, right?
Yeah, it's Game Boy Advance SP is
Okay,
after
yeah, that's what I
it goes
thought, yeah.
Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP, and that was when he bought that.
Do you
He
think
also
the
had Mario
SP's
Golf. That was the first time I played Mario Golf was in the Game Boy Advance.
Do you think
SP.
that stood for Square Portable?
I don't know what it stood for.
Because I was just thinking about that. Like, 'cause
Special
they
power.
are square.
Su-
small.
superior
Superior
portability.
power?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look
And
that
then
up
and then I like totally didn't play Pokemon for a while because like you have that kind of gap of like I'm not a kid anymore, so I'm gonna like
Yeah.
not do all the stuff
Mine
I did
started
as a
at
kid.
Gen 4.
Yeah, mine was Gen 3 was my last one. What was Gen 3?
Gen 3 was Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah, I played Sapphire.
Dude, Ruby and Sapphire were great.
Yeah,
They hid
my
bases and
my
Hoenn.
dad
oh,
loved
my God.
Sapphire so much he actually looked up cheats for that game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that he got dedicated.
Yeah,
like
that was-
spreadsheet check. Like
That was a good one.
Yeah.
And they added a lot of good Pokemon, too, because that was the ones where, like, Phoebus and Milotic were introduced, and I think that was Torchic. Oh, my
Yep.
favorite starter, Torchic.
I'm trying to think of. So Chikorita was in the second one,
Yes.
second gen. Third
Yes.
gen is
gold and silver.
Third one's is Mudkip, Trico.
that's right, Trico and
Torchic.
Torchic. I mostly chose water Pokemon when I had the
Yeah.
option.
Yeah, I guess. Like,
I chose Mudkip.
I mix it up, I guess.
Except
I just,
Totodile. I didn't like Totodile's final evolution.
Yeah.
So I
I
was
a big
like-
fan of Totodile.
I think I chose Combuskin as my last one.
I went
Favorite gen?
Favorite gen would probably be. See, I want to say Gen 1, but a lot of people hate Gen 1
See-
because it's all basic.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
would
like,
be
but
Gen
I'm
1
like,
just based on nostalgia.
yeah, I know. I would say nostalgia purposes, I'd pick Gen 1.
Same. Favorite Pokemon?
Squirtle. Hands down.
Gyarados.
Just Squirtle.
Gyarados is a good one.
Squirtle, not Blastoise.
Nope,
or-
Squirtle itself. Because he's like the perfect size. Think about it. He's
Squirtle,
a giant turtle that's the size of like a 42-inch TV. I'm just saying.
It's like the size of a Koopa Troopa.
Exactly. Well, I mean, if you know what a Koopa Troopa is, I'm trying to base it on like real life. Like he's the size of like a desk. Like he's just
Like a regular.
really-
He'd be basically like a regular tortoise. Like tortoise get pretty big.
yeah, but he stands on 2 feet.
Yeah, well, I guess imagine a tortoise standing on.
Though Bulbasaur would be freaking sweet to have, though.
Yeah, I would like to have a Bulbasaur just running around the house as like decoration.
It's decoration.
Moving plant.
Yeah, be like having a dog and a plant at the same time.
Yeah.
Bulbasaur is cool. That's the only I didn't like Ivysaur or Venusaur. They're ugly.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But they're like
a lot of
way
evolutions do
overpowered.
that.
They're like Ivysaur is like one of the like OP Pokemon at the end.
Yeah,
My
one of the
favorite-
OPs.
Yeah.
The Pokemon I would want to have above all others is Charizard.
Everyone picks Charizard.
I pick him because he's a fucking dragon.
No, he's not a
Fire-
dragon.
Now-
he's a flying beast. Like he's not a dragon.
Like,
Unless you Mega Evolution him, then he's
well,
a
I was
dragon.
gonna say, for all intents and purposes, like he's based off of a dragon, but theoretically speaking,
Yeah.
he is a flying lizard.
Yes.
But
That's
like,
dragon's
but
pretty
when
much
he
dragon.
goes into Mega Evolution, he does become a dragon. But
In X.
yeah, because
Yeah,
Charizard
X.
X is dragon, and then Charizard Y is still fire and flying.
Yeah.
Salamence is my favorite dragon type. I don't know if you guys recognize Salamence. He's the
easy
blue and
fifth
white
gen?
one with the red wings that are
Oh,
like crescent
yeah, yeah,
moon
yeah.
shaped.
Oh, that's the moon. He's a dragon?
Yeah.
The moon one?
No, well, he's got moon shaped wings.
Oh, he's not the main
He's-
one in
he's-
Moon, is
no,
he?
he's a third gen.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me find a picture of
So like 4th gen and 5th gen, I have like no idea. Which
Fourth-
one was the one that had garbage in it? Like
Fourth-
literal garbage.
Fourth
Yeah.
gen is nothing but pre-evolutions and evolutions. It's a hot mess. There are
It's a hot mess.
two fire type Pokemon in that entire game: Torkoal and your starter.
Torkoal, I
Those are the
remember.
only two fire Pokemon in that
Dude,
entire
you know what
game.
also is a really cool Pokemon? Not Psyduck. Golduck is a really cool Pokemon.
You ever
Golduck is cool.
notice how Psyduck and Golduck have their names backwards? Because Psyduck is a yellow duck with no psychic powers, and Golduck is a blue duck with
I
psychic
didn't
powers.
remember that,
Hmm.
yeah. Yeah. I also think having Grimer would be fun.
Yeah.
But he
That's
smells.
Salamence.
Oh yeah, okay, I know that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
Big
favorite.
blue dragon.
Yeah, that's my favorite dragon.
I'm trying to think of Magmar would be pretty dope to have, but he has a big giant butt head.
Yeah,
Dragonite, silly beast.
yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, the one and only dragon from
High-pitched
first
voice.
gen.
That was always.
That's what he sounded like in the movie.
Yeah.
It's like fucking Shamu, dude.
Yeah,
Wait, I thought, but there was another Dragonite though. Like, didn't someone that Ash battled have a Dragonite?
probably, but I
But
mean,
it wasn't like
it's-
the 70-foot tall monster.
Well, I mean, is this the only dragon type in Gen 1? Like, it was
Oh,
Dratini, Dragonair, and Dragonite. Those are the only three
That's
dragon
right.
types. So it was like, oh, okay, cool. Dragon's a type. There's one Pokemon.
I always forget about
Like-
Dratini.
yeah.
Dratini is such an adorable name.
Oh,
like, he's
yeah.
just this little snake dragon. Like
The shiny form's pink.
What?
Yeah, dude. It's ridiculous.
I'm trying to think of some other
I like the shiny
Pokemon.
Gyarados, the red one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red Gyarados is great. Everybody's first shiny is
Yep,
Red Gyarados.
yep. The only shiny that I think I've ever caught.
I have caught a couple shinies in the regular games. I've caught a Tentacool, and a couple others. I got a bunch of shinies on Pogo.
Oh, Pidgeotto's dope.
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah,
be awesome to
Pidgeotto's
have.
probably one
How
of my
tall is
favorite birds.
Pidgeotto?
Like 4 feet, I think.
Jesus,
Yeah, it's a big,
that's a
it's
big-ass
bird. It's like the
bird.
size of an eagle.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then Pidgeot's like big enough so you can fly on him.
yeah. Oh,
You know.
oof. Yeah, I think I like Pidgeotto.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would live in this universe just because of the
Great.
fact of like, I definitely would go breeder. Wouldn't really go for battling so much.
Ooh.
I love the collecting aspect of Pokemon.
Yeah.
And so that's what like draws me to not play it as much is because I'll just be grinding like the whole time. That's like what I find enjoyment in Pokemon is I just like going out there and raising them up and organizing and like being really precise of who's in charge. And then what I'll do is because this is old Pokemon me playing is I take my lower number and I put them at the top
Yep.
and then release them in there, but now you don't have to do that. You
Oh
know?
yeah, you can organize
Yeah.
your boxes, no problem.
Well,
Would
now
you-
it's just like if you throw out a person, you don't have to throw out the person. The whole party gets XP no matter
Yeah.
what.
Oh, you're talking about the XP share and all that.
Now that's
it-
just a thing.
Yeah, they've changed that, and you get it like right at the beginning of the
Yeah.
game now. So
Like
you
in
basically,
Moon, Sun and Moon, you just get it.
yeah, and it's
just
like,
like,
you
here
don't
you go.
even have to fight for
You
it.
know,
and
I did not like the region in Sun and Moon. I don't like
the
the
Alola region.
Alola region.
yeah, well, yeah, they've completely like changed the game because it's like no gyms and all that.
I
and
think-
it's like guardians and stuff. It's weird.
You know what? No. So you asked earlier,
Oops.
what would be my favorite generation? Johto is my favorite generation. Gen 2.
God, I keep bumping this.
Gen 2 is my favorite.
Really?
I love the Johto
Just wanna
because
scratch my neck.
because Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Silver are the ideal second game ever. Like, there's no other game out there that when you beat the second game, it unlocks the first game.
Yeah.
It's like, nope, go back to Kanto region and like have fun over there.
The best part about that is like half those Johto Pokemon were supposed to be in the first game, but they ran out of time and
Yeah.
money, and they were like, just put it out, just put it
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
you know, because then they were like, well, we could always just release like kind of half sequel and then make the main game at the end of it, and that's kind of essentially what Gold and Silver.
What Yellow was. Yellow was the half sequel, wasn't it?
No, Gold and Silver came out before Yellow. Yellow came out after Gold and Silver.
What?
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because it was.
What?
I'm pretty sure it was Red.
That
and
was
Blue.
the first one that was. No.
I'm pretty sure it
No,
was Red and
'cause
Blue, then
Yellow-
Gold and Silver, and then
Yellow connected red and blue together, and then
Here,
Crystal
let me
connected silver and gold together.
Let me check.
Because they started doing these.
Was
3
yellow in
games.
full color though?
Yeah.
Gold and.
I mean,
Silver
it
was
wasn't
not.
in
Silver came
it wasn't
out
in
on Game-
full it wasn't in full color. It would change based on where you were located at. So like you went to Lavender Town, it was purple, but then when you went over to like I don't even know what other fucking town there is. Like you went to any other town, they'd be color based on those locations.
Yeah, because I want to say Pokemon Gold and Silver came out, and then Yellow came out like right after it. Like they came out like around the same time, I thought.
Yeah, I don't know
Because
because
I
I
remember
remember having yellow first and then I got silver, but I don't know because to me, you know, I was just a little babe.
Let me check real quick. 'Cause
But yeah, I would say
I
Gen
can't
2.
remember.
How are we on time?
We're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
I remember.
I gave you guys like 15 minutes on both of you guys' topic.
I remember.
So now
thinking when
mine just got up. I'm just letting it go. But yeah, I mean, I would go with So I answered my question of kind of like what Pokemon would you start out with? I would go Squirtle. What would you? You can pick any gen. What would your starter? It has to be one of the starters though.
Charmander.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I would go Torchic all the way
Wow.
because I love Blaziken. He's one of my favorites.
He's an OP TCG card.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played the TCG.
The TCG is really fun.
I have the complete first set, and I'm missing like 5 cards from the second set, and then I stopped playing.
Wow.
But
No, if you learn how to play Pokemon TCG, it's actually really fun.
anybody want to give me $100? I got 4 Charizards for anybody.
Each.
$100 each.
Yeah. No, there's I still have my Pokemon card collection somewhere in a binder somewhere.
I don't have mine anymore.
Oh, rip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of jump in and out of it every so often. I'll be like, you know, Jameson and I got kind of in a wave of it. We eventually he has some Pokemon cards as well, and we played each other. Bought like I think it was the 2016 whatever starter boxes were around in the 2016. But when you buy a starter box for Pokemon, you get a lot of stuff. Like you get the cards, you get the dice, you get the chips, you get like the play mat, you get the rule book. Like it's like way cheaper. Like
Oh.
Pokemon is like way cheaper. If you've never played a TCG game, pay no mind to the fact that a lot of children play the Pokemon card game. That game is the best. Like you want to learn how to play Magic the Gathering? Play Pokemon TCG
Yeah,
and then go to Magic the Gathering because it is way easier to comprehend Magic
Yeah.
the Gathering after you play Pokemon, and vice versa. If you know how to play Magic the Gathering, you'll understand how to play. Like there's some rule changes and whatnot, but like your concept of how to play a card game, like they switch pretty fast. Like they have their major rules, but their minor rules are pretty easy to understand. But yeah, I still have all of my Pokemon games.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I other than like the first.
My red
couple-
and blue batteries are dead though.
Oh yeah, mine probably are. I haven't even turned on my originals from back in the day. I was gonna say yeah. Other than like the first 2 generations, which I retroactively went back and bought, I bought both versions every time a generation comes out, so I can play them both and trade between the 2 of them because I hate. Yeah, well, most of the time, you know,
Lonely.
yeah, I didn't have a lot of friends that played Pokemon,
Same.
you know, and so it was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just trade with myself. I mean, it's the same thing now with Pogo because I was gonna say, like, I'm sad that I didn't think of Pokemon because since Pokemon has been out, Like from the day I played it, I was like, I wish this was real. And now that Pokemon Go's a thing, like, or was a thing for a hot minute, and then now it's
I
like,
still see people around here.
well, yeah,
They'll
I mean,
have their little
it's
phones
not as
out.
it's not as crazy as it was during the first initial couple of months, but there are still dedicated players that I see. You know, I saw a bunch of people out today because there's an event going on right now, and like this is the closest so far that we've gotten to Pokemon in real life, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And
see,
yes, the
if we
game's
get-
not perfect,
If we get real
but
Pokemon,
if
it
we,
would be
Yeah.
including alchemy. Like,
Like,
you
yeah, if-
can't make like that
well,
happen.
I'm thinking that it'll get to the point where, like, because I know they want to do that with like Google Glass and stuff, where you put on the
yeah.
glasses and
Oh,
augmented
yeah.
reality.
HoloLens.
So yeah, and stuff like that. And so it's like, if we can get to that point where we can just put something like a pair of glasses on, and then augmented reality would be in front of us, and then you could like pick up an augmented Pokeball and throw it at a Pokemon,
Yeah.
like you're really playing in real life. That would probably be the best thing ever. Like I would die of happiness.
Good old pocket monsters.
Yeah, dude, I love it. Absolutely love it.
All right. Well, we'll end that. We might come back to all these three topics at some point in time. Maybe we'll have like a full-on Harry Potter, or full-on Pokemon, or full-on Full Metal
Yeah,
Alchemist.
we should do a full-on Pokemon episode.
But for this one, we have about 9 minutes left. Just gonna kind of fire around. I'm gonna throw them all out there, and we can talk about whatever.
Honorable mentions and all
Yeah,
that.
these are the honorable mentions of some bad and some reasonably okay. So Game of Thrones, not one I would want to live in.
Nope.
Yeah, no way. As cool as that show is and the book series, like God, that is an awful, awful.
You might get
world to
laid
live
though. You have a pretty high chance of doing
in.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
so-
probably
that
get one of
equal
the
chance of dying.
500 STDs
But-
that they probably have.
Star Wars. Star Wars was another one we wrote down as an honorable mention.
Oh man,
That'd be a good one.
that'd
yeah.
be fun.
Yeah, I would.
It's dangerous.
Star
but-
Wars would be cool if you're not one of the many like outer rim planet poor people, you know, because like you see how
Not one
hard
of those little dust planet guys
like,
over on
yeah, dude,
Tatooine.
you see how hard, and on Jakku and stuff like that. Like you see
Yeah.
how hard they live. They're salvaging scraps.
Yeah,
from
they're
Empire.
moisture farmers. Oh yeah, I guess on
Well,
Jakku
moisture
they're on.
farmers too, man. Yeah, I want to go into Tashi Station, but no, I gotta fucking fix these droids.
Yeah, that's a bad motivator.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Uncle
don't really
Owen.
feel like it.
Uncle Owen, this one's got a bad motivator.
Resident Evil, not a good one.
Not a good
Not a
one.
good one. Cool franchise.
How
not
are
a
these
good-
honorable mentions if we don't want to live in any of them?
Yeah, I mean they were just. I think
Yeah, I
they
guess
started out as
They're
like
popular,
yeah,
you know, and stuff.
as ones that we didn't want to live in until we added the last one. But let's stick with Resident
I
Evil for a
forgot what
second.
the last one was.
Oh, you'll remember it. Like the thing about Resident Evil is, unless you're not one of those main characters, your life kind of sucks.
Yeah, you're pretty much
So,
gonna die.
Yeah,
Even if you're a main character, your life sucks.
I mean,
Yeah.
true. If you're not Leon or
could
Chris,
possibly
you're gonna probably
Yeah, if you're not Leon, Chris, or Jill, you're probably gonna die.
And then Josh threw out WWE.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah. My logic being that it's kayfabe.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, it's kind of a story in a fake fictional universe. You know.
Yeah, no, I included it on this list just because I totally agree with the fact that yes, it is not.
I mean, for years, I believed that
The
the
longest-
Undertaker was the dead man. You know?
Yeah.
Dude, yes.
Yeah, it wasn't until like 2007 when everyone started breaking kayfabe.
Yeah.
And it was
yeah.
like, oh, this guy's actually not an asshole. So why
Right,
are we
yeah.
talking about that he's an asshole?
God, I hated Owen Hart with a passion when he won the King of
Rip.
Hearts. Dude, yeah, rest in peace, Owen Hart, Blue Blazer. But yeah, when he was wrestling against Bret Hart and they were fighting for the King of Hearts title or whatever,
Yeah.
and Owen won, I was so pissed off. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be kind of cool because like you could be like you're either a total villain or you're a total good guy,
Pretty much, yeah.
And
That's
so
the
it's
reason
like-
why I like it so much, you know?
and you get to wear like this magical golden belt that everyone respects you because you
Yeah.
wear it. Doesn't matter what golden belt you're wearing, you're always respected.
And my favorite is how dramatic they act out, like the punches and the kicks and stuff. Because those moves, for people who say wrestling's fake, it's not 100% fake.
Yeah.
Like
It's
the
a stunt
moves-
show, is
Yeah,
what
the
I
moves,
tell people.
the acrobatics, the athleticism of these people, the entertainment value. It's all real. Like they put on a show.
Yeah.
Like,
They
but
call
you
some
know,
people call it Vince McMahon's a traveling circus.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I can see the relation there. You know, it's basically instead of animals, it's like big beefy
Thumbs.
men and yeah, and like
Thumbs with feet.
you know, and boobs and like mats
boobs.
and blood.
I actually
You know?
very much like the. Well, we'll get. Well, that's a
See,
that's a
yeah,
whole
that-
other
That's
topic
gonna
for
be
its
an
own thing.
episode. That's we're putting that on the
Yeah.
list. We're gonna talk.
So
about
like,
that
yeah,
movie.
we got 5 extra
Hey, look,
minutes
it's
here.
your favorite.
Oh, it's Squirtle. Yeah, he's just chilling out here. I wish Pokemon
Talking
Go
all- yeah, I was
worked
like,
on my freaking phone.
talking about all that
Doesn't
Pokemon.
work.
I want to play Pokemon
Yeah.
Go now.
Yeah, I'm really excited for like that on the Switch too. So, but anyway, yeah. Any like anything you've thought about it? Your guys'
You
franchises?
know what? Actually, I was thinking too. Another one would be Cowboy Bebop. Would be pretty fun to live in. I
Cowboy
think.
Bebop.
Yeah, because it's just future Earth.
Yeah.
You know, it's like in 2079, I think, or something like that. It's only like 50 years from now.
What's Ghost in the
Like,
Shells?
I
I like Ghost in the
think
Shells
that's a
universe
couple
too.
hundred years in the future, if I'm not mistaken. But I can't remember exactly the
Or
time.
Naruto.
Yeah, not for me.
Now,
But-
Naruto wouldn't be bad because of the ninja stuff. I just don't like Naruto himself.
Yeah,
So-
he's annoying.
Ooh,
I
boy.
could,
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
If I had to go to
Gonna
school
get
with
some
Naruto,
heat in those comments.
I don't know if I could do it. Like maybe take Naruto out of the equation. I'd totally.
He
be down.
doesn't get better until the Shippuden.
Yeah, like basically when he's like a teenager or an
Yeah.
adult. You know,
When
like,
he's actually like
What about
something.
What about Yu-Gi-Oh?
oh, dude, I didn't even think about that. I banish you to the Shadow Realm.
Though then again, yeah, like your soul could be on the line
Yeah.
when you're playing.
And by the 5th season, the monsters are real.
This time, the monsters are real.
Kaiba!
Well, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, you actually get your love of Harry Potter, and everyone gets sorted into the houses of either you're a part of like I can't remember, but you're it's the Egyptian god cards. So you're either in like Obelisk,
the Tormentor,
Obelisk blue, Slifer red, or
yeah, Slifer Sky
Raw
Dragon,
yellow.
and Ra the sun something or other. Ra the sun god, maybe. I think it's pretty basic.
I'm not even
name
going to
for
try
him.
to butcher it because
But
I just
know
remember.
it's Obelisk the Tormentor because that was Yugi's card. He always threw out
I
Obelisk.
thought Seto Kaiba had.
No,
Obelisk.
I think Kaiba had Slifer.
I
and then-
thought
and
that
then
was
Yugi-
reversed.
Yugi, I'm pretty sure Yugi.
I
had
thought Slifer
Obelisk.
had.
I don't know. Now I
was
kind
Yugi.
of. Now I kind
But yeah, it was Slifer red, Obelisk blue, and Raw yellow, and you got sorted into those, and then you dueled and got graded on it. That is one of the best concepts of a kid. If Pokemon did that, I would have been very happy about it, but they never did. So, you ever realize Ash kind of sucks?
He's a terrible
yeah,
trainer.
he's the worst
Yeah,
trainer
he
ever.
Absolute
he
terrible
doesn't.
trainer. He
He's
gives away half
won
his
like
Pokemon.
one trophy,
Yeah,
and it was the Orange League.
Yeah, he's,
like,
he's never
that's
come
like
in
the
better than
worst.
fourth place at the Elite Four, like or the Indigo, or not the Indigo,
Indigo's the first season.
the
Johto.
no, just the whatever the league when he goes to
Oh,
do
the
league
Pokemon League.
Yeah, when he goes to do the championships to get to the Elite Four,
Yeah.
he's never made it past fourth place, so he's
Yeah.
never even made it to the Elite
Yeah,
Four.
it's the one anime that has the main character never win.
Yeah, he's gotten better each season. He's progressively made it farther, but he's never made it past
But
like
he's
the
stupid.
semifinals.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this episode. We have talked for an hour. Can you believe it? Comment section is open for you guys, so make sure you comment if you're watching on YouTube. What you guys what's your fantasy world? Where would you want to live? And maybe like a brief description of what you like to do in that world. Or if you liked ours, then maybe what would be like your specific house would you be put in, or what alchemy would you study, or what Pokemon would you choose? Like, comment section's up to you. Yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. Make sure you definitely hit that subscribe button on either platform, whether you're listening audio or watching the video on YouTube. If you're listening on YouTube, there is an audio version of this on iTunes, and for Android listeners, it's on Podbean. So just download the Podbean app and then search Primal Target, and there you go. Yeah, that's going to be it. My name is Ryan A. Moore. Joining me was
Ashton.
and
Josh,
we'll see you guys in the next episode. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
I love you.
No, you don't.
I know.
And every night,